Aladdin is easily one of the most beloved and popular Disney movies of all time. The story revolves around a starving thief who discovers a genie and wishes to become a prince. Although the story is pretty straightforward, fans have developed their own theories over the years which may or may not be true. Stick around and hear these theories that'll completely change the way you watch the film. The movie is set in a post-apocalyptic future. This is one of the most popular theories about the film. Although the fictional city of Agrabah looks a bit ancient with no traces of modern technology, fans have pointed out a lot of disconnection between the setting and the movie's various references to modern pop culture. According to this theory, the movie takes place in a post-apocalyptic future rather than the ancient Middle East. If you listen carefully, Genie's dialogues provide much of the evidence. Like when he first comes out of the bottle, he says that being trapped in a bottle for more than 10,000 years can give you such a crick in the neck. And soon after taking a look at the man's vest and fez, he remarks that they look far too 3rd century. He also makes multiple references to celebrities in modern technology, implying that he's already experienced the 20th century. But the best part of the theory suggests how a catastrophic nuclear event or some other massive tragedy occurred, and only Genie and the people of Agrabah and the surrounding territories survived. And now that society has collapsed, the remaining bits of fading technology look like magic. Jafar isn't really a bad guy. Now hold on to your magic carpets because this theory is going to surprise you. This theory says that Jafar, the big bad guy in the film, isn't actually bad at all. Let's reflect on it by talking about the Sultan first. We know how he was dim-witted, but a friendly rule of Agrabah. In fact, he was not only lazy, but a greedy ruler who didn't come about his subjects at all when they were out there starving and living in severe poverty. They were barely surviving as brothels, beggars, and bandits who populated the streets. And while Aladdin was portrayed as a Robin Hood of some sort, he was just a thief whose sole goal in life was to marry rich. And then we have Jasmine, who was living a posh life and thought she understood the people's misery by spending 2 hours in the bazaar. So how does Jafar fit into all of this? He actually had important plans to end the suffering of the people staging a coup d'etat. Unfortunately, Aladdin ruined everything for him while trying to amass riches for himself with the help of Genie. Actually, Jafar wanted to use Genie to successfully carry on the coup d'etat, but Aladdin found the magic lamp first. This has had some interesting parallels with Shakespeare, mainly Iago the parrot. In Othello, Iago serves as Othello's right-hand man, but it is Iago who pushes Othello to his complete downfall. Here, Iago is Jafar's hot-tempered right-hand parrot. You see where we're going with this? Despite the fact that the rest of the story has no parallels with Shakespeare, this is definitely an important point to make here. And speaking of sidekicks, the entire story of the film is narrated by Genie, who portrays himself in Aladdin in the best possible way. In this way, the whole film turns into a revisionist history of a power-hungry genie and a gold-digging thief. The Cave of Wonders was someone's wish. The Cave of Wonders featured in the movie is pretty impressive. And did you know that making this beautiful cave made Aladdin once one of the most expensive animated films? What is even more interesting is in one theory suggests the cave was actually created at the wish of the previous holder, who made sure that only a deserving person would find the lamp once he was done with it. Let's break this down. According to the theory, the previous owners used their first wish to amass a massive wealth. As the measurements differed back then, he might have said something like, enough money to fill the cave. This explains how all the gold coins and jewels appeared in the cave. His second wish could have been for some convenient transportation to get him anywhere he wanted, and something that wouldn't require fuel at all. This formed the magic carpet. The third wish is where things get complicated. Now that he had all the money in the world and he could easily go anywhere he wanted, the last thing he wished for was to share the fortune with someone deserving. This is how the Cave of Wonders was created. In this way, a diamond in the rough who matched all of the requirements would get the lamp, ignoring the rest of the fortune and staying honest. This would ensure that someone honest like Aladdin would get the lamp rather than a greedy person like Jafar. Aladdin is stuck in some time loop. One of the theories suggests that Aladdin is stuck in a giant time loop. Aladdin might have been a prince, but he wished to become a common person because Jasmine thought that he was too privileged or spoiled. killed. According to the theory, when Genie started rewriting the history, he ended up erasing Aladdin's memories. And by the time they reunited, Aladdin had completely grown tired of the violent street thief life and wished to be a prince. This situation could have gone on for some indefinite period until Aladdin finally found the lamp and freed Genie, breaking the cycle. While the rest of the world moved on, Agrabah was completely trapped in this endless loop of Aladdin's dissatisfaction and unrequited love. This would explain why Genie keeps referring to the 90s as he's the only one who has access to the outside world. Aladdin and Jasmine are siblings. Now, this one is going to ruin the movie for you. Turns out, your favorite Disney couple might actually be related by blood. Okay, so hear us out. Remember when Genie dressed Aladdin as a prince instead of creating a separate kingdom for him to rule? Perhaps Aladdin wished to become the Prince of Agrabah, and that's why Genie ended up transforming into Jasmine's brother. No surprises here. Genies are literally notorious for fulfilling wishes with unexpected consequences. But according to the theory, Genie rewrote the history so that Aladdin was the product of some affair with Jasmine's mother, making him her half-brother. You're probably thinking this is a reach, but let's have a look at the Aladdin 2019 live-action film, which has solid evidence. In the film, Aladdin says to Jasmine, handmaiden, to force her to get out of the palace more. Jasmine responds to this by saying they won't let her go out ever since the queen got killed. Aladdin then says that the people of Agrabah had no hand in it and that they loved the queen. During the same scene, Jasmine started playing a song on an instrument. We can see Aladdin looking into the distance and saying that his mother taught him the same song too. Coincidence? We think not. We know Aladdin lost both his parents when he was still young. The theory suggests that the queen had an affair, and as a result, Aladdin was born. She couldn't tell anyone about it, so she frequently visited the city secretly. And one day something might have gone wrong and she got killed, and the king started blaming the people of Agrabah for it, leaving them in utter misery. Jafar is actually the middleman. Okay, so this one may sound crazy. After all, Jafar went a long way to get a hold of the magic lamp, and he even killed someone to get it. And who knows, he might have killed more people for his greed. Obviously, it takes a special kind of evil desire to do all of that. But when he gets his hands on the lamp, he doesn't even know what exactly to ask for. You'd expect someone who had been searching for a magical item to have a clear purpose. Instead, he just stumbles into his wishes and randomly uses his last wish to become a powerful genie. The theory says that this is an indication that Jafar is actually a middleman in this whole situation. He wasn't really the person who originally wanted the lamp for his benefit, but for that of his boss. However, when he gets his hands on it, he gets greedy and uses it for himself. So, who was he working for? Well, here's the craziest part. He might have been working for Jasmine. Hear us out. There's no way he was looking for the Sultan because, let's be honest, he was never the smartest person in the room. Plus, even if the Sultan wanted the lamp, he literally had all of the power in the kingdom. So, he wouldn't need some suspicious method like asking Jafar to do it for him. As for Jasmine, we've seen how cunning she can be. She even pretended to be in love with Jafar, and she's also the smartest person in the film. She didn't want to go public with her search and used Jafar for this purpose, who is clearly infatuated with her. So when she's almost killed because of the magic lamp, she decided to free Genie rather than have a lamp in the hands of the monster ever again. That's a wrap for this video. Do you believe any of these theories? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.